Hey there, guys. So today we have another review, and this is a review of Bourbon County, Goose Island's Bourbon County 2014. And before I get into this beer, I just want to preface with a few things. First of all, the reason why I'm reviewing this beer is that it is the beer that got me into craft beer. First time I had this beer was about 2.5 years ago, and at a bar actually. And I was actually just at that bar today. And I was actually celebrating my birthday. So it's the beer that got me into beer. It is my birthday. I also this week just hit 2,000 unique I guess ticks or hads, as in I've had 2,000 beers since then. Not that I've reviewed every single one, but it's a pretty cool number. It's in a short time at 2,000 beers that I've had. And so actually interesting thing about this beer is that Goose Island is actually doing a documentary series about the history and creation of this beer. They've just released their first installment of it. I think some people at GABF might have been privy to a screening of this film, and I think it's leading up to Black Friday in November, so basically it might be like an hour, 2 hours long, talking about just this one beer. I don't know if you guys want to sit through that, but I'm going to sit through the installments because for me, this is one of the most important beers and influential beers of the craft beer movement. It is the barrel-aged stout. It is, historically the one that created the style. And I mean, it's still so good. It has such a huge production, and despite the fact that it's still so prevalent, despite the fact that Goose Island has been bought out by InBev, it is still Bourbon County. For me, is still one of the kings, or if not the king of barrel-aged stouts, and it's incredible. So this is pumped up for the Black Friday release. This, by the way, is a 2014 vintage, so it is bottled. September 4th, so it's actually over a year old. So really cool to revisit a bottle a year in, and actually I haven't had it in a few months actually. Yeah, quite a while. I actually don't remember the last time I had it, maybe 6 months ago. So really cool to see how a full year has really evolved this beer. And let's dig in. Enough yapping around all this preface about the beer. So let's dig in. All right, I'm pumped. Haven't had a Bourbon County recently, and I'm really excited. Oh wow, look at that beer. Pours out, actually you see a little bit of brown coming through in the as it pours out. Good amount of carbonation for a barrel-aged beer. Really nice and black. And as you swirl it, just like Bourbon County as usual, you sort of see that kind of like brown film that sort of just sticks to the glass. You even see alcohol legs. Yeah, alcohol legs on that one. Again, this batch comes in at 13.8. So let's get the aroma on this. Familiar with what I remember from last year. I will say maybe the bourbon's actually even more pronounced in this one. So it is a good amount of dark fruit. It's dark cherry, dark kind of plum date kind of thing. Big smack of bourbon, lots of chocolate, huge amounts of vanilla. It's just that bourbon is so rich. It just smells like really wet barrels. It's really awesome how much bourbon is injected in this one, but it's also just so... It smells sludgy. It smells delicious. It smells like there's a lot of vanilla. There's huge amounts of roasted malt and chewy chocolate. It reminds me a little bit of like Black Tuesday even. Just like huge Imperial Stout. I mean, again, I haven't had a big Imperial Stout like this. Almost 14% is not something many of the barrel-aged stouts hit. Yeah, it just wafts up on your nose. It tingles your nostrils from that bourbon. It smells delicious. Oh, amazing. Cheers. And oak is coming through. Cheers. Oh man, wow. No wonder I love this beer. It's so good. God damn. Wow. Yeah, I want to say maybe years helped this beer a bit. Yeah, a touch. Up front, again with those dark fruits. Has a little hint of like Bourbon County barley wine kind of thing, which is a very heavily dark fruit kind of beer. This one follows with the aroma, like dark cherry, dark plum, like figgy, like dried fig, wet dried figs kind of thing. I guess wet figs would be better. Dried figs and wet figs is an oxymoron. Rich amounts of vanilla going through. Huge, chunky chocolate. Coffee roasts on the towards the finish. Lingering. Ooh, lots of vanilla. Wow. It's like a vanilla dessert. It's like nougat. It's like vanilla chocolate cake. Just like really wonderfully intense kind of vanillaed chocolate dessert. A little bit of brownie going on. Lingers off with a little bit of oak. Mouthfeel for a 13.8 is nice and despite the carbonation as you saw it, it's a really it's a really soft mouthfeel. It's oily on the palate. Though the nice thing is that you get little prickles of it towards the back. So it does have a little bit of carbonation playing through it, but it really shows off the complexity of flavor by how soft the beer is. Really not like conflicting with the beer with lots of carbonation, which is really nice. And just goes on and on and on. And it's sticky, caramel, toffee. Your lips are enveloped with this sugary sweetness, and it's somehow still balanced by that bourbon spike quality, which really the alcohol. It's not a boozy beer, but it's the bourbon really balances out the sweetness of this beer. Maybe my palate's crazy, but yeah, it's not a really boozy beer for 13.8. You get the warming going down, and it has spikes of alcohol in the back towards the back. But again, for 13.8, what can you expect? Yeah, it doesn't taste like some barrel aged beers have issues that they taste like you just had a stout and just poured whiskey or bourbon into it, and you sort of have that like issues with balance, and it sort of is just abrasive, and you're almost like drinking bourbon, and it's not very enjoyable. This is a very well integrated beer. Again, this is Bourbon County. Holy smokes! Vanilla, fudge, dark fruit, chocolate, coffee bitterness, roast, lingering sweetness, lingering lots of vanilla, oak on the back end, just drying out the beers. Very subtle. Just awesome stuff. Yeah, a year really. Yeah, if you have 2014, crack a bottle. It definitely has improved from last year. I might want to say that maybe 6 months or another year might change this beer a little bit more. As for rating, I mean, generally I would give this beer 100 plus out of 100. Probably is 100 plus out of 100 right now. Where's the 100 plus out of 100? There you go. Sorry. Yeah, screw it. I mean, 2013 is my favorite batch. 2012 for me is a little hot, and that's my familiarity with the beer. 2008 is actually an absolutely ridiculous vintage. But let's see. I'd have a hard time trading for a barrel aged stout that I like more than this, and I have to trade a lot for it, probably. Man, it's just a king. 100 plus out of 100. There you go, guys. 100 plus out of 100. Yeah, just give this to me blind at a bottle share. I'd be like, wow, what rare, amazing beer is this? I might be able to pick out this Bourbon County, but holy smokes, the complexity is just never ending. I mean, there are like vintages and like and variants that I like more than this. So that's how good the beer is. And I'm giving 100 plus out of 100 to this beer. Whereas, you know, some of the variants I might like more like proper 2010 vanilla or maybe 2013 vintage. But that's just how good this beer is. 100 plus out of 100. Thank you so much. I'm going to celebrate my birthday. I'm going to enjoy this. And until next time, guys, cheers. Let me know about all your Bourbon County stories. I really have a long history, a really long preface to it. So until next time, guys, cheers. Thank you so much for watching. You guys are awesome. It's been, actually, yeah, think about it. It's been a long ride. You know, since getting into craft beer, it's been quite an experience. So again, I just always want to thank you to all the awesome people that, you know, contribute to the channel, help me review certain beers I could never get. And yeah, thanks Win right there. And just all the awesome people. I really appreciate it. It's a really great time to reflect. So until next time, guys, cheers. Later.